Okay, starting over right now. Hey, what up socials? It's Abbi J, your life coach here, and today on AJ Life Hacks, we are talking about what to do when your job sucks. Yeah, we don't talk about that a lot because I feel like when you say, my job sucks, people think, oh, there's probably something wrong with you. And until I used to think that way. I totally used to think that way when people would say, oh man, I hate my job, or man, my job really sucks, or my boss is the worst. I would think, that sounds like a personal problem. Like that sounds like something's wrong with you. And I didn't change my way of thinking until that happened to me. And I found myself in a job I hated. And hate is like the lightest word I could use. I loathed this job. I would lay in bed and I would cry. I would literally lay there and cry at the thought of going to work the next day. So I get that. You're in that situation, so what do? Your job sucks right now. Okay, well let's talk about these 3 tips right now, and be sure to stay to the end because I have the most amazing free download to give to you today. So let's get going on these 3 tips. And the first one to do when your job just sucks is to actually take the time to sit down and figure out exactly what the problem is. So many times when we have a job that sucks or that we are in a situation that is making us unhappy, we don't stop and think why. We just kind of bundle everything together and say the whole thing sucks. Well, this is the time to actually sit down and talk through, it's because of this one person my job is sucking, or it's because of this one task that I'm responsible or in charge of. Well, it's because of this industry that I didn't know. I hate the whole industry. So what is it that actually is the problem? And don't just lump it into my whole job sucks. It's all of the leadership. Like actually sit down and write out what your pain points are with your current job. And this is so important because it's going to help with the other 2 steps. So my second tip for you then is to look at what you have to learn from this situation. Now, one of my favorite mentors of all time is Jim Rohn, and he is famous for a quote that said, "Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better." Now, this is not at all me saying, oh, just tough it out, because if somebody had told me that in my job, and they did, tough this out, stay for a year, stay for 2 years, you need the experience, it looks bad on your resume. Okay, yes, all of that's true, but so is the fact that I'm crying at night because I hate my job so much. So you do you. And I'm not saying you have to stick out this job because there's something you have to learn, but take this moment because life is trying to teach you something. And life will continue to teach you that lesson unless you learn it right now. And that's something that I have tried to make a statement in my life, that if God is trying to teach me something, I want to learn it the first time so I don't have to go through this trial, this hardship, through another job that sucks again. So what is it that you have to learn here? Is there a certain type of personality that you don't get along with? And you know what? That's great to know in the future, because if you're interviewing and this job or the company kind of has that same vibes, you want to be running away from that. Or maybe you learn that, hey, my degree or my chosen field of occupation really isn't for me. Or maybe you've learned that you would rather have a day that looks different than it does right now. So take this moment because you're already there. You're already in this situation that just sucks. So why not pull out these little nuggets of information about yourself? I learned about myself that I really need to be autonomous. In this one job that I had, I felt like I was micromanaged. I felt like nobody trusted me and that my integrity was being questioned. And that to me just shook the foundation of my happiness, and I felt so insecure about those things. And so now I know that's something I want to look for in a future job. And my third tip for you is to take affirmative action. So many times people get stuck in a job they hate. And by stuck, it's them that's keeping them there. There aren't locks on the door. There aren't people just telling you have to stay at this job. It's all in our head. And yes, I am not downplaying the fact that you have a mortgage, that you might have kids to feed, that you have a spouse or partner who's depending on you to bring in this income. I totally get that. But if you don't start to open your mind up to taking some sort of action, then things aren't going to change for you. And if that right there just makes your heart so sick, then that tells you something's got to change. Because so many times we think, oh, I'm just gonna stick this out, I'm just gonna tough it out. When, yes, we can have that awesome attitude while doing something else. We can go talk to our boss and say, hey, can these things change for me? So many times we put ourselves under these situations not even knowing that if we just talk to the right person, things could change, responsibilities could shift. Maybe that you could try out doing things in a different way than you thought you had to before. Some of the limits of our job are all in our head. Get out there and take some action, because for life to change for you, you have to change. And to me, this step is so important because it was one that I delayed way too long. I remember thinking, I'm not going to quit this job till I have another one in the bag. And you know what? God and the universe taught me that I needed to have more faith, because I quit the job thinking that I had another job just like I'd planned. Well, I found out literally within the next half an hour of putting in my 2 weeks notice that I didn't make this other job. And so I was unemployed for a little bit of time because I decided to take that action and just quit this job knowing that somehow, somewhere, I'd get another job. And let me tell you something, even though, yes, money was tight during those months, and yeah, there's that fear that grips you thinking, what am I gonna do? You know what, there's such a stigma to say I was unemployed for a little bit, and it makes us so fearful. But let me tell you, I was so happy during that time of my life because I was free from this burden. I was free from a job that truly I felt like I was a prisoner at. So, little dramatic, I know, but if you are in a job that is just crushing your spirit and you just are so miserable to go to, I get that. I've been there, and I hope these tips help you. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel because that would be amazing, and I have awesome videos coming out for you every single week on how you can overcome some of these challenges in your life, how you can build your success, and how you can find ultimate happiness. And like I promised, I have an amazing free offer for you. So down in the description below, I have a link to my guidebook for 10 days to a more powerful you. And this guidebook is so simple, so straightforward, but it will radically change your life. And yes, real change can happen in just 10 days. So click on that link below, give this a nice thumbs up, and comment above on maybe something that you are gonna do to take affirmative action in your life right now with your job. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Abbi J out.